Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. You can call me Love. Today you may hear some rumbling or some noises in the background. One of my neighbors has an arborist outside, so please, I apologize in advance. But that being said, we're going to be doing something I haven't seen on the internet for a hot minute, and that is a get ready with me. So that being said, I'm going to get rid of these glasses and let's dive on in. Okay, so I don't have contacts in, thank God. Next week I will be getting some. Then this will be a lot of an easier process. But the first product we're going to go in with is from Billion Dollar Brows. It is their Universal Brow Pencil. I'm going to quickly comb out my brows and give them a nice little gap filling. I like these products mainly because they're universal and honestly so quick and easy to use. Just to make like a quick natural brow. We're just filling it in. I apologize also if I block my face. I can't see. Doing my best. We're doing our best. I also have a little pimple in my eyebrow. But yeah. I'm going to repeat this on the other side and just give us a natural filling for our brows. I'm going to go into some concealers we're using today from e.l.f. These are the Light Ivory and the Fair Rose. Those are the first and fourth shades. Alrighty, so I went ahead and used a blending sponge. This one I just got from the Umomo Japanese Living Store. Honestly, $3 sponge, who could go wrong? And yeah, I just sponged, I don't know why I said sponge, blended out on my eyelid. So now we can go into the palette. Today's choice is honestly a palette that I have had on my shelf for a while now and I haven't really touched it, but I absolutely love the colors. So this is from Hipdot. It's their Zion palette. It's inspired by, if I'm not mistaken, the Zion National Park, in Utah. So it's like based on like the sandstones and stuff like that you can find in the park. I absolutely love this palette too, just because it is a very pretty palette. Though, let's be honest here, so many people are pushing products these days, I feel it's about time that we have some classic get ready with me's, okay? So the reason I'm going into this palette is because I mainly want to play with the purples and the oranges, and that's all this palette is about. So using a smaller fluffy contour eyeshadow brush, okay? Think it's focused on it. We are going to dip into, it's been a while since I've gotten to actually like play around with color, but this is the shade Wanderlust because we all have a little bit of a wander in us, hey? But I'm going to hopefully name it off. If I don't name it off, I will put the shade name up in the corner. But using the back of my hand just to kind of catch any fallout before it can go on my face, I'm going to just kind of get it worked into the brush, and we're going to start building it up just in that crease. Honestly, it's been a while since I've gotten to play with makeup in the like more creative sense. I've been doing so many like basic wedding style looks and glam looks for kind of like news or TV kind of, and it's so nice actually getting to play around with some color. I want to build it up because I want to work into, it's called Narrows. It's this kind of red shade. I know this is kind of ballsy. It's going to probably stain my skin. And I'm prepared for that. We don't care. We got green color corrector for a reason. So we're going to build this inside of the outer corner. Going up, it's okay to stamp a little bit, flicking as you go, but don't flick too hard, my friends. We did work some of it off onto the back of the hand already, okay? And then when you're ready, just start to build in to that crease. I'm looking down because I'm looking into the palette, but as you can see, it's kind of covering all of that Wanderlust shade. So this is a very pigmented narrows. I will say that to myself. However, I'm kind of curious because I think this is a vegan palette. So what kind of pigment is the narrows? Am I rubbing red dye number 40? Am I going to be addicted to this eyeshadow palette? Am I going to be addicted to this? It's okay. That's fine. I'm addicted to a lot of things. I'm addicted to this. Okay, we're going to take a clean brush and we're just going to kind of blend and smoke out that upper crease and brow bone. Not too much, but not too little. It will go off, that's okay. That's why we have makeup wipes. It's okay to wipe excess. We're going for a more avant-garde look anyways today, guys, so it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're doing what we want. We are independent women. So now if you thought I was done with that, no, we're going to go more dramatic. There's a shade called Majesty in this palette that's like a dark, deep plum. And spiceberry, is that the proper term for this? My God, Merlot. That's a nice word for it. A Merlot. What's the name? Majesty. Anyways, we're going to deepen that corner even more and just focus into that corner. We're not going to go anywhere too crazy, okay? We're just building that corner just a little bit. And we're not even going to go on to that crease, okay? We're letting narrows have its moment there, okay? Wanderlust is not having a moment in this look. She's that supportive friend that we all have and we wish would just never leave. They're a good supportive friend, right? Right there, Wanderlust. I keep forgetting its name. That's okay. We're going to grab that same brush that we used to blend before and we're just going to focus in to the corner. This will get rid of any like bumps along the way, and when you work up from a lighter shade to a darker shade, it honestly builds a lot more dimension than if you start off with a dark shade and blend it out. This is the kind of stuff that they don't want you to know on TikTok because that's what separates them from you. And honestly, I don't gatekeep. What's the point of gatekeeping these days, you know? There's no point. No point at all. But that being said, I think it's time to go on to the more orangey colors because I've also been wanting to play with those. So inside of this palette, we have the colors Grounded and Canyon and Sandstone. Okay, those are like my more peachy, burnt orange, sienna, terracotta. Let's see. She's got a bone. She's got to show those arborists her bone. Okay, now that I dealt with that, we have another small blending brush. This one we're going to dip into the shade Grounded. Grounded is like the most dark, like burnt of the orange, okay? And we're going to put that on the back of our hand as well. And we're just going to work it in to that corner inner lid, okay? And since these colors are all from the same palette, I'm sure that they're going to mostly work together. Since they're like, yeah. Like already you can see that that's blending really pretty. It may come out looking like a bruise, but who doesn't want to look like a bruise once in a while, hey? It's punk. It's alternative. It's different. Okay, so now that we have the shade Grounded placed, we are going to dip into the lighter peachier orange here. It's under the name Canyon. It's also a very cute name. I find it's a little bit more closer to like a pumpkin-y shade, but we're going to place that more towards the center and inner corner. And don't be afraid to marry it to this shade up above here. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, because without a question, I wanted to use Sandstone. I've tried using it as a base color before, and I found that it was way too peach. Way too peach. Wait, I may be peach, but I'm not that peach, okay? I'm not that orange. And so we're just going to place that, the inner corner, very nice, marrying it into the, what is it, grounded? No, canyon, and the narrows. Gathering a little bit more, and repeating on the other side. As you guys can tell, this video is going to be a bit longer. I hope you stick around to the end to see how it all comes together. But anyways, now that I have this base shade thing going on, we're going to take, yes, another clean, fluffy brush. This is why we wash our brushes, people, so we can have lots of clean, fluffy brushes for blending. But we are going to take this clean, fluffy brush, and we are going to blend out the inner eyeshadows and kind of, as I said, marry it. We're going to try and bring them all together, okay? But anyways, I really like this. This is a very pretty color combination. You know, I've been wanting to do this color combo for a hot minute, and I just have not. I'm going to add a little bit more of that dark plum shade just to really add symmetry to the look, just to kind of keep those corners established where they're supposed to be established, okay? We don't want one eye going off to Mars, right? Not with this Mercury in retrograde, which is what inspired this look, I feel, because I'm also going to be using a highlighter called Retrograde from Ofra Cosmetics. But anyways, before we get into that, I did want to use one of the shimmer shades from inside of this palette. I was thinking, actually, maybe I'll use two. Yeah, maybe I'll use two. There's Angel's Landing and then there's Virgin. So I'm going to grab on my middle finger the shade Angel's Landing, which is kind of like a bronzy reddish kind of tone. And then with my pointer finger, we're going to gather some of the shade Virgin. The reason why I'm using my fingers inside of the palette, some of you are going to be like, ew, that's your finger. Girl, I wash my hands, okay? I'm not a dirty heathen. But the reason why I do that is because it helps start the melting process. Because all of these eyeshadows contain like emollients. Emollients is just a fancy word for oils that make it spreadable, okay? All of them contain like emollients. And so they're released by body heat. This is also why, if you've ever seen people who work in morgues work on like dead people, they tend to use most of the makeup on their skin first, or they'll use a product that does not actually require heat to activate, such as alcohol products, alcohol-based things, you know? But anyways, we're gonna wipe off that excess fallout that ended up on my under eye there. I have a Kirkland makeup wipe I've been using on my hands behind the scenes, and we're just going to wipe away what's underneath. I know there was some concealer underneath, and it's okay. We're going to be using some color correctors because your girl has some veins and dark bags that need to be actually truly covered up. So, that being said, I'm going to quickly pop on some lashes and liner, which is going to be the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara and the Verified Ofra Liquid Liner. Okay, I'll be right back. And some lashes. We're going to put some So Wispies. But yeah, I'm going to do these off camera and I'll be right back. And just like that, we're back. And I think these So Wispy lashes are so pretty. So I'm happy that we have some lashes on. But now is the best part. We're going to be playing with our face. The first product we're going to go into is from e.l.f. It is their hydrating, like, I don't know what it's called. I'll put it down below if I It's like an illuminating under eye primer, if I'm not mistaken. This is the pink one. Because I have like freckles and like dark spots on my face, I tend to use these pink products because they cancel out a lot better than other more traditional color correctors. But yeah, I apologize if you hear in the background. I think I caught it perfectly timing wise because it sounds like they're in between cuts again. So hopefully it doesn't disturb us. But if it does, I will pause. But yeah, so we're going to be using a little bit of this. Obviously, you can see me using it right now. And I'm just going to be putting it underneath my eyes, and we're going to also use a beauty blender to kind of blend it. We're going to start from the outside and blend it in to that inner under corner. Okay? Inner corner. I don't know why I called it an under corner. But yeah, I really like how hydrating this product is because it's got a little bit of squalene in it. So now that we have that primer on, I'm going to be going into a product that I haven't actually used, but I have had it for a while. This is the butter primer from Beauty Bakery. Like, it's a basic silicone primer. I've honestly just have not used it. But we're going to put it over the face and see what happens. Oh my god, I didn't know that it casts white. Well, that's kind of fun. Ha ha ha. Well, she knows now. But yeah, going to give this a little blend out with my blender and I'll be right back. Why is it white? Okay, first thing I have to say, butter is not white. I mean, sometimes it's white, but like, most butter I've seen is usually more on the yellow side. Because, what the hell? Anyways, so that was a very interesting product. Yeah, it blended away without a cast, so if you were put off of it before, I don't know, it spooked me. It spooked me quite a bit. I'm going to go on to the next product. So I've got a couple cream products here that I want to play around with, okay? So we're going to be using Laura Mercier's Tinted Moisturizing Bronzer, okay? We've also got, it's the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Liquid Blush Tape. What is the shade? Pink. This is pink, okay? And then we also have, from my tried and true favorite collection from Ofra, this is the Monroe Liquid Highlighter. Liquid gold, if you ask me. But we are going to be a little bit more dewy before we put on some foundation and concealer because we're going for a full beat today, guys. Full beat. So yeah, I usually put my blush in one spot and then yeah, I'm going to blend it all. I'll be right back. Okay, so I blended it out and I did add a little bit extra blush because why the heck not? And yeah, I think I love it. I haven't actually seen it with glasses on, so that's eye of the beholder. But we're going to add a little bit of Miss Marilyn before we go ahead and add the... I'll be right back. The amount that went in my hair. So I went ahead and cleaned that up off camera. Sorry if you guys hear the loud machinery. They just started their trucks up. But anyways, we're going to put some of Miss Monroe in the few places that I actually do want her. Okay. I was told in makeup school to like keep that kind of like a matte spot, and I'm like, girl, you're telling someone who loves shine to put fucking matte? Anyways, we're gonna blend that out and I'll be right back. You know, I love how liquid highlighter just makes the skin look so juicy, so plump. But yeah, that being said, we are going to go in now with a foundation. This is the Halo Glow Skin Tint. If I'm not mistaken, it's an American product. That's right, babies. We don't get it up here in Canada, but that's okay. I got it through my Ipsy BoxyCharm. And I'm probably not going to get Ipsy BoxyCharm again this year just because, one, it's way too expensive. And two, I got so much skincare products. Not saying I'm barbaric, but the amount of times that I actually use skincare products is like a caveman. So we're going to use some of this Halo, and just kind of give our skin a cohesive look. I'm focusing mainly on the mask of my face. The mask is the central portion. I think I do have more of a diamond shaped face, but could be considered heart. If I have my hair down, it looks more heart because of the way I have my hair parted, but yeah, just gotta blend this out. I did also forget to mention that this is the shade Too Fair Warm. So it's the second shade in their range, but yeah. This is actually Fair Warm. This is the second shade of the lightest shades. Okay, I know earlier I used a mixture of these two, but that's just because on my upper eye I was just looking to neutralize using the yellow base inside of this, like the darker of the two, the light ivory, and using the pinks to brighten with the Fair Rose. But yeah, so we are going to be using Fair Warm. It's brand new. We're going to put that onto the back of a clean hand. Yeah, see, that looks like my shade. Finally, I did a whole video where I was like trying to color match myself, and I was like, why is it not matching? Well, now we know. We now know. But yeah, using a flathead brush, I'm just going to pick some of that up, and we are going to place it, yeah, underneath the eye, just to kind of cover up that bag. We don't want to air all our laundry to the world, right? But yeah, gonna put it in a few more select places, like the tip of my nose. I don't know about my nose, guys. I don't know. It's really long. That's why we get here, hey? Put a little bit on the Cupid's bow, a little bit under the nose too, because I know it still has a bit of redness, and that's not cast off from my light. That's vascular. That's part of me. A little bit under the lip, but on the chin. My chin has a natural dimple, so I don't like to hide my dimple using concealer, but I do like to highlight my chin. But yeah, I'm going to blend this out with a beauty blender, and I'll be right back. I'm sorry if I look cross-eyed. I keep looking at myself in the monitor. I'm going to try and focus on you guys. Now it's time to set. It's time to set, and we're going to use some Revolution powder. I like to put them into a reusable silicone baking cup. Honestly, you can use a powder, you can use literally anything. Go to the thrift store and get yourself like a little candy dish. Treat yourself, friends. Get yourself a cute little dish to put your powder in. But we're just going to start setting frickin' everywhere, because I tend to crease. I get oily. We're going to put it everywhere. I also wear glasses, as you saw at the beginning of this video. And so we're just going to make sure that this is going to stay put on this humid, rainy day. That's why we're in here. We can't go outside to the garden, so we are in here playing. Playing with our flowers, our makeup flowers. I prefer makeup palettes over bouquets of flowers, to be honest. Unless I pick the bouquet from my tree myself, because I have a rose bush out front. It's so pretty. Alrighty, I think that's probably good for powdering up our face, but I will be going into some other powdered products. Today's bronzer of choice is brought to us by Lisa Watier. It's a Canadian brand, so sorry guys. If you can find it, hell yeah. If you can't, well, it's a luxury brand, so it's one of those ones that you can get this for like $40, comparable to Laura Mercier, but as I said, once again, it's Canadian, so not to support local or like be like on that bandwagon or anything, but honestly, I've had this powder for I think going on 3 years now, and I absolutely adore it. Can't knock something you love, and yeah. Let's go with an Il Makiage. This is their shade Bootylicious. Like, that brush literally picked up no blush from the last one. That's ridiculous. Redonkulous. But anyways, we're just going to, there we go. That's a nice blush. Oh, I see how that one picked up. I'm like, oh no. Oh, that happens. And when that happens, it's okay to dab it a little bit with the bottom of your beauty blender. Maybe a little bit on top with the actual concealer. Oh Lord, we got real blushy with her today. I forget how pigmented a maquillage is, especially after playing with Miss Quo, who didn't want to show her face. Throw that in the trash. Honestly, I have had very little luck with Quo Beauty products. You can say I'm not amused. I am very not amused. But that being said, let's go into the next powder product. This is from Ophir Cosmetics. It is one of my favorites, but I barely use it. It is the Retrograde highlighter. If you guys know, you know that right now Mercury is in retrograde, so it is a horrible, horrible time to try to communicate things, whether it's like good things like, you know, I did well in my course or whatever. It's just a horrible time to try and do that. But anyways, I'm using this blush because it's a mixture of a cream blush and a purple blush. And as you know, we use purple inside this eyeshadow look, so I just think it's just the perfect, I don't know, finishing touch, would you say? Because like that looks really pretty to me. But we can't be completely finished without a lip and fixing our hair. So I'm going to do that off camera, but I will show you the lip combo that I will be using is from Pinky Bee Beauty. It's their 1989. And so yeah, I will be right back. Stay tuned. And just like that, folks, we are done. Ignore my scalp. It got dark red from, well, my scalp and my ears. I pointed out that I should not have pinned my ears back, and I really shouldn't have because it also pinned my forehead. So if I scratch or blend too hard or anything, it ends up turning real red. But anyways, I digress. So this is the final look. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. If you want more get readies with me, good, because that is all I'm going to be making for the next while, because I need to stop unboxing things and start using makeup. I need to start using makeup. But that being said, if you haven't already, like and subscribe so you can catch more videos like this. Yeah. Anyways, I really like how this turned out. I hope you guys did too. And yeah, I hope you all had a great time watching this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Make good choices. Anyways, I love you all. Bye! I just want to say something about packaging. Okay, I haven't quite mastered the Tarte tip yet. It doesn't make sense. It just fills up with stuff, and then I know you're not supposed to put it on the back of your hand first, but Lord, why? Why? At least this one from Laura Mercier has like a little precision tip, but Jesus Christ. Anywho, we are going to be using a blush now. This one is from Quo Beauty. This is their blush in the shade Sweet Thang. It's number 89, I think. We're just going to gather some of that onto our blush brush. I find this one rarely, oh my god, the powder, rarely puts off any like actual pigment. Like I don't really see any coming up on the brush. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay, hold on. Maybe it's the blush. Maybe it's just the blush. Yeah, you know what? Heck, this blush. Wasn't a good call tucking my ears. Next time I need to make sure I don't do that.